Well, we come on the air now with some breaking news. The big, beautiful bill has passed 51 to 50 in the Senate, giving certainty to many in rural America. And boy, this is something, Tommy, that we have been waiting for. They said it was going to come down to the wire. They promised it was going to be on the president's desk by July 4th. Getting it done today in the nick of time really kind of feels like in the 11th hour. But this is big.
Yeah, it looks like politicians like to enjoy the fourth holiday also. They wanted to go home, take a break, and celebrate America. And this is a big one, right? I mean, we are, in my opinion, someone could argue with me, but we are the best country in the world.
Absolutely. Getting it done. And as you said, I'm sure, there are a lot of things in there that there was a debate and some bipartisan. Yeah.
900 and some pages.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever read a book that long.
No. In fact, I know many lawmakers are saying we have to read it all. We have to comb through this. But getting it done is just incredible. And it's going to be interesting to see, too, how it's going to affect these markets, how it's going to affect everything coming down to the wire as we move through this summer months. I think it's going to have a big impact, and I think producers are very excited to see this go through.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see Scotty's take on the cow guy. I'm sure he's rewriting his script, but we got this debt, and Elon Musk has been very open about what this could mean, and there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes with supporters of it and non-supporters. It's my understanding 3 Republicans didn't vote for it.
Didn't vote for it, which means that, we've got some other votes, of course, coming across the line on this. It's going to be interesting again. Looking forward to seeing how it plays out. That being said, what you got for the grains? I'm going to pass this over to you.
My vote's for corn to go higher. Let's see how we're doing. Welcome back to the show and breaking news. That's always fun. Let's look at the corn market here. Let's look at SEP corn, 405 down 4. December corn, 420. Down 4 3/4. Corn a little lower than where we were last segment here. Let's see how soybeans are holding up here. Soybean trade here. August soybeans 10.28 down 1.5. Nove soybeans 10.26. Let's look at the wheat table here. Look at wheat, SEP wheat 5.45 1/4 up 7. Let's head right over to the Kansas City. We'll go through this quickly because we have a guest on. SEP 5.26 down 3/4. That was up a penny last time. Almost last but not least, spring wheat just down a little bit here. SEP spring wheat 6.26 down a few pennies here. Cotton, is it holding up? Is cotton going to be okay? Cotton is up 27, the yacht cotton. I believe we have a guest. If we do, let's bring him in. Hi, my friend. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
A little breaking news. They threw a fastball down the middle. Stage is yours, sir.
Yeah, well, a lot going on, but I'm going to look back at yesterday's quarterly grain stocks report. That, of course, is our one of 4 snapshots per year where on the balance sheet we get a chance to look at implied feed use. Obviously, exports, we keep track of that every week. Ethanol use, we keep track of that every week. Feed use, though, is a big wild card. So we get an implied feed use number on these quarterly grain stocks report using those variables to do the math. So USDA had the number out yesterday in terms of quarterly stocks. So our first 3 quarters in the books, feed use compared to a year ago is down about 3%. In order for our final feed use estimate from the USDA to meet the current target, the 4th quarter feed use is going to have to be up around 12%. Kind of seems unlikely, and I think as we look forward to the in a week and a half WASDE report, when the USDA revises the balance sheet, I think they've got justification to pull down that feed use number by somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 million bushels. So I think the market absorbing that, jumping ahead, doing the math here this morning, that coupled with crop condition reports that are excellent, above expectations, really good conditions all over the place. At least in this part of the world, we don't need a weekly crop condition report to tell us we're in really good shape.
Yeah, excellent. Bill, before we go on commercial break, you are in the epicenter of corn-eating machines there in Cedar Rapids. With 15 seconds, explain to people how much corn gets ground in Cedar Rapids every day.
Yeah, well, I think the city of Cedar Rapids consumes well over 1 million bushels of corn every day. So it's a big deal.
Excellent. You stay right there. We're going to wrap things up, go for a little commercial break. Bill from 88 Hedge, you're going to come back and talk cattle, I hope, my friend. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Market Day Report. Well, we had that breaking news on the first segment, and the lot of information's coming out. We'll digest all that. Let's take a look at the cattle market real quick. Let's see what's going on over there. August live cattle 210.70, down 317. Oct cattle 207.47, down 270. December live cattle 207.95, down 270. Feeder cattle's where the a lot of volatility today with that news out of the USDA yesterday after the close. August feeder cattle 305.35, down 530. Sep feeder cattle 305.35, down 530. Oct 303.22, down 530. Last but not least, let's look at lean hogs. Just thinking about lean hogs, I just makes me want to go get a bacon sandwich or something. I just love bacon, so I'm going to be a supporter of this product. These prices should be higher with just my consumption. 108.87 in the July lean hogs, down 120. August 106.97. Let's bring him in. Bill Havertape, 88 Hedge. Bill, thanks for sticking around. Stage is yours. Let's talk meats.
Yeah, the midday box beef number was out here a couple of minutes ago. The choice cow 395.81. That was up 25 cents for the day, up $1.56 compared to where we were a week ago. So the meat market continues to hold in. June futures have rolled off now. We've got an August front month. Deeply discounted to cash. Not much cash trade action yet so far this week. We're looking for cattle to be offered in the south around 226, in the north 234, give or take. Dress offerings probably around 376. You've got a June, I should say an August futures market at 210.80. If this cash cattle market's legitimately in the neighborhood of 230, I just did a quick look here before we went on, and I could be off on this, but it looks to me like this is the biggest discount on the 1st of July that August futures have had to the cash cattle market in the last 10 years. So it's not a super comfortable market to be hedged. I think the market's topped out, but with that huge discount, that kind of makes it a little bit scary.
Yeah, the bulls and bears are definitely arguing here in the cattle market. Impressive rally we had Friday, explosive rally Monday, and then we take it about a lot of it. I have to look at a chart when I get offset, but we're doing some damage here to the charts from the excitement from yesterday, correct?
Yeah, the top could really easily be in, and obviously feeder cattle, the driver here today. We've got that phased reopening of the border, Mexican feeder cattle. We'll start next week if things go well. It sounds like every week they're going to open up another port of entry. We're feeling the effects down 530 to 550 on feeder futures right now.
Yeah, unbelievable volatility. It's the biggest bull market ever, and I've been in the industry for a long time. I can't say that I caught much of it, but I have helped people hedge. And how about the ability to do LRP yesterday? That news broke, and then you could still do LRP. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I had flashbacks to the old days. In the old days, you could do LRP all day long based on the previous day's flows, but the USDA shut down that loophole. But there are still reasons to have that tool as a tool in the toolbox, no doubt about it.
Yeah, the toolbox, you got to use everything you have here. We still have elevated interest rates, and I know that's starting to hurt the ag community. A lot of talk about when interest rates are going to go down, how much. We just passed this bill. Some say it's inflationary. I'm interested to see when we go on break how the outside markets are doing, the Dow, the gold, everything else. But interesting times nonetheless. Real quick, how are your crops in Cedar Rapids, Bill?
Yeah, all through, I've traveled quite a bit through the Midwest here the last couple of weeks, and it really couldn't look any better in the year. It doesn't necessarily mean that automatically transfers into a giant crop, but we really look good almost everywhere.
Thanks, Bill. Bill Havertape, 88 Hedge, and I'm still excited about this breaking news.
Yeah, this big, beautiful bill. We just came on the air announcing that it did pass 51 to 50. We don't know many of the details right now. I'm trying to kind of digest everything a little bit, but what we do know is that Vice President Vance was the deciding factor. 3 Republicans voting against that. So it's going to be interesting to kind of get in there and dive deep as to what was changed, if anything, and how that's going to look, of course, for rural communities and especially our producers and farmers. So it's going to be interesting stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, that LRP, the regulations with that, you said you have to really be smart, know how to use it and when to use it, especially with this livestock market.
Yeah, well, the markets were closed, but you could still do LRP. So we had breaking news that many would say we're going to open lower tomorrow. So you could then go do the LRP. And if folks have questions about that, of course, ask an expert. Now, in the internet, everyone's an expert, right? Find a real expert, folks.
Don't confuse Google with this man, right? Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.